speakers today. Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Tom Whitty, who is actually from the agricultural field. Tom is a communications and media professional with a passion for raising awareness about rural Australia. Tom co-founded two well-renowned social media initiatives, AgChat Oz, which is a national weekly Twitter discussion about hot issues affecting Australia's agricultural sector, and Rural Mental Health, a discussion about rural mental health issues. In just a few short years, AgChat Oz has become one of the largest social platforms in Australia, regularly reaching more than 300,000 people. Tom has a Bachelor of Journalism from Monash University, previously worked as a communications and campaigns officer at CropLife Australia, which is the peak plant science body of Australia, and then took a leading position in media and communications in the ACT government. Tom now works full-time with the Victorian Farmers Federation as the Manager of Media and Communications for the country's largest farmer organisation. Early this year, Tom was named the 2014 Victorian Young Rural Achiever of the Year. Thank you. No, just cancel out that. So you need to just click on that one there. Yeah. And, oh no. Oh, your symbols.
Well, thanks for having me today. I'm going to talk a bit about how farmers and regional people are using social media to reach new platforms. So, quickly though, about 4 years ago, when I started working in this space after uni, I did a quick search. I was sent to a social media conference in Melbourne to see what other people were doing in the Twitter sphere at this point, just come in, and I hadn't really heard of what Twitter was. And we had a look, and there was so much conversation about sport, about politics. We've all seen the Q&A stream, and we watch Q&A on AFC. But a few quick searches was typing in agriculture, farm, anything to do with that, brought up pretty much nothing that was Australian at all. So we decided, I had a conversation with a few people on Twitter, and we decided that we needed to do something about actually getting rural and regional people, in particular farmers, out online. So what did we do? Just before we get to that, I'm assuming most people know what social media is, but very quickly, you've got Twitter, you've got Facebook, you've got YouTube, you've got LinkedIn, we've got Flickr, we've got a million of them. But the ones that we've been using a lot of has been just Facebook, Twitter, and growingly LinkedIn as well, which is more of your professional network. So I call it your online resume, pretty much. So it's any form of communication that takes place online. And so how have we been using it? So it's really important that we do use it because, as I've got here, whether you like it or not, someone's talking about you, your industry, your business, or yourself. So in seeing what people do say, a lot of people have an opinion about what regional and what farmers do, and it's something that needs to be counteracted. Earlier this year, Morrissey, a famous singer, said he sees no difference between eating animals and pedophilia, something quite outlandish. But it's an opinion that there is a lot out there. There's a lot of misjudgment and misrepresentation about eating meat, about farming in general, about the whole paddock-to-plate process. So we wanted to counteract it. We want farmers to be able to say, this is the story straight from the horse's mouth, literally. So what are they doing and how are they doing it? They're using it to tell their own story. They're defending their industry, but they're also inviting people to get an insight into what they do as a lifestyle, also as a career, and also as their way of life. And they're taking ownership in this story, and they're starting to form personal connections that are really, really valuable. So the personal connections is one thing. Breaking down the boundaries, I think, is probably the next biggest thing. And presenting a human side to what is seen as a multi-billion-dollar industry. And it's a very professional industry with a professional side. And from my work hat point of view, we're using it for lobbying as well. We use social media continuously to drum up support and get our farmers involved. And we also get people from Melbourne and throughout the city to be aware of what we're doing every day. Another example of this is we stood at Parliament Station for about 4 hours last Friday to promote our conference. And we got about 500 people to come along on Saturday to a small farming expo, which was free to the public through Twitter, Facebook, and handing out leaflets. So that was exciting for us. Some other ways, so AgChat Oz, what is it? So it's a social media platform on Twitter that we started 4 years ago. It's a weekly discussion on every Tuesday night between 8 and 10 p.m. Farmers tweet to us with questions and topics that they want to talk about. We take the most popular and then we announce a week before the topic will be GM crops, or the topic will be seasonal crop outlooks for the next 6 months. Tomorrow we're talking about the future of the wine industry, and we've invited a whole lot of wine experts to come on board and speak with farmers for 2 hours. We facilitate it over 2 hours. We have a host, there's 3 of us, and there's question 1 to question 6, and we just it's almost like Q&A for farmers, and we do it every Tuesday night. So we're in our 4th year this year. Myself, Danica from New South Wales Farmers, and Sam, who's a web developer in Canberra, started it. It's taken from a US version which is called AgChat, but we couldn't use the US version. It had to be completely Australianised. Our issues, while there are some similarities, they're completely different when we're talking about the perception of agriculture in Australia and the perception of agriculture in America. It's very, very different. It seems to be that there is much more of a respect about farming and food over in the States, and we're really trying to make sure that we can change that. So a few of the stats about it. Over the 4 years, we've got just over 8,500 Twitter followers. We're on Facebook. We've got about 1,900 Facebook likes. Trended, that thing that runs down the side of the Twitter panel, which is your thing. It's usually something like Justin Bieber or something like that. This one, AgChat has popped in there 13 times, and on average reaching about 375,000 people. And we've also helped start, so AgChat started it in the States, then we were the second group to say we want ours in Australia. So then we helped our Kiwi friends start AgChat NZ, and then we also helped them start AgriChat UK in the UK, and they are huge. They only started a year ago. I think they have something like 15,000 people that are involved every week. And AgChat Ireland as well, and we've also now got a version that runs in French and one in Dutch. So what else did we do with this? We wanted to get it even bigger, so we did something called AgriChat World. So farmers across the world all tweeted at the same time for 2 hours. Being Australia and being the Southern Hemisphere, we lose, so it was about 4:30 or 5 a.m. our time, which is about 7 p.m. UK time. That one had close to 1 million people tweeting and sharing pictures about what they do. So we've all heard about the selfie. Well, we have the felfie. It's a farmer selfie. So farmers in the crops, farmers with their animals taking pictures of what they're doing and saying, this is just me hanging out with the jerseys today. And it was really cool, and I think I've got a picture at the end. But just quickly, I wanted to talk about one of our biggest ever chats was last year during the federal election. We decided that we wanted to get as many MPs on board as possible to tweet about their strategy for the election. What can they offer rural and regional communities? And we had a really good response. We had 6 national MPs, including the now Ag Minister Barnaby Joyce. We had 6 Green MPs. We did have more than Richard Marles, but we had about 2. Libs, we had Susan Lay, and we had Bob Catter himself as well. And I tell you, when Bob Catter tweets, you know it's Bob Catter. It's completely unscripted. And this kind of set a bit of a precedent for the amount of MPs that are involved in social media as well now. They are, if they're not tweeting, they are watching, and if they're not watching, they've got to start watching. They want to know what's going on, and I'm hoping, and I actually think that AgChat is a bit of a benchmark of what is going on in regional communities. And it's not just rural people, it's actually 60% of our audience are rural or regional, and 40% are identified from a city. So, and we know this because we actually pay a service that tracks and geolocates where people tweet from each time. So we can see where they're tweeting from. And they're not just tweeting from Australia, we've got people from Kenya, the UK, Ireland, the States will log in because it's their morning. So we do get a bit of a global chat each time. And look, just to finish with, I just wanted to put in a selfie, which was a farmer selfie, which someone tweeted us from Australia. So I think that's about it. I can take questions or anything else. Yep.
Will you be doing a similar thing for the state election?
We might. Because AgChat is Australia-wide, we probably can't tailor it into a state type thing.
Sure.
But we do really try to just be national. we probably wouldn't do that because I'd have to do a state election chat for every state and territory.
So could you just repeat the question for the
Yeah, the question was, would we do a state election type of ag chat? But I said we probably won't be because ag chattels is national. So if we did that, we'd have to do a state chat for every state and territory. That's all. Yep.
Do you have any? Do you work to any standards or guidelines for moderation?
Yeah, sure. So the question was just about moderation. Do we work to any guidelines? We do have guidelines, which is mainly no offensive language, no tormenting of other people. It's respect is the number one thing, and that is hard to manage. It can get out of control. We've got people, we've got animal activists on, and we've got farmers, and we've got city people, and we've got every plethora of people that you can imagine. So it can be, if it gets to that, we can send them a direct message and encourage them to take that conversation out of the hashtag, because the hashtag is really what we're tweeting on. We do have a website, which is agchattels.org.au, which gives people a guideline on how to use it, how to set up a Twitter account, how to follow it. And we also put our topics on there if people don't have Twitter or want to know, but they can still see. But the only way that we can moderate it is to let people know you've got about 5 minutes for the question, 5 to 10 minutes for the question. We let them know we're rounding it up. We let them know that we're going to the next question, and we remind people that you've got to be understanding of everyone's view. Twitter is free and anyone can use it. So, but a lot of it is the onus on the user. Yep. And they do get shut down pretty quick if they're not adherent to that.
I'm interested, this probably started in your own time, or is
Yes.
it seen as part of your job?
No, it's got no connection to my job. We started this, all of us started it 4 years ago when we were just in our own office, kind of looking through, I was doing it for work, and I met people through Twitter that wanted to do it with me, and then we took a tweet conversation to a phone conversation to a physical meeting. So, no, it's on our own time. It's 8 to 10 p.m. on a Tuesday night, so it's not connected to work. No.
I just sort of wondered, Tom, given you're media manager, do you think it should be part of your role in the future, or the whole social media strategy?
Social media strategy is completely part of my
right.
BFF job.
Okay. Yeah.
We run social media strategies, campaigns, but it helps me be able to do my job. But it's definitely not connected. When I'm acting as a moderator, I'm definitely not.
Right.
I'm not speaking any BFF speak at all. It would be completely contradictory to my job. If I'm participating as BFF, yep, I'll use the platform. The other thing. I was just going to talk about, one way that we use it at BFF is, the biggest way we used it last year was something called a Tell Us Why campaign. It was a supermarket campaign in response to SPC, which was about to close. So we launched a mass social media campaign calling on consumers to go into the supermarket, pick up a can of peaches, pick up anything, frozen vegetables, and look at to see where it was from, and then take a picture and chuck it on Coles' Facebook page, Aldi, Woolworths, and say, tell us why you're not using Australian produce. And that went, I've never seen something BFF go that viral. It had something like 24,000 shares on Facebook. It was supported by Aussie Farmers Direct, it was supported by all of our peak bodies, including our parent, the National Farmers Federation. And the main people that were using this and doing this campaign were city people. So they had no idea that if they turned the can, there was peaches, we were eating peaches from Thailand, and frozen strawberries were coming in from New Zealand. And, the SBC tomatoes are down the bottom, and the Coles home brand are up the top. And so it got people thinking.
What was the response from the supermarkets?
The response from the supermarkets was pretty epic. We had Coles and Woolworths both commit to July this year to source 100% tinned fruit and frozen vegetables.
Brilliant.
Yep.
Tom, I guess it's strategic about what you can do on Twitter, what works on Twitter, and something like that would be terrific. It's short and sharp, but have you found some frustration, or have you used the website in combination with Twitter to actually get more information across? Like if you have a presenter wanting to provide a bit more detail on a particular topic and then use Twitter perhaps to ask questions.
Absolutely. I think if we had more time, I'd probably use the website a bit more to provide background on the issue and stuff. At the moment, we probably just don't have the time to do that. But they very much do, use synchronisation as well. We definitely use our Facebook page a lot as well, both with providing information about what the topic is and tweeting in. That is a conversation that can be as long as you want. But we do have a website, and that's something, I guess, for our future plans, is to be more active in using it. And just one final thing, we did use our website. We did a live Ag Chat-Oz, where we had like a panel, sitting. We had about 130 people in the audience. It was in Canberra, and it was filmed and streamed live on our website, so people could watch it, tweet in questions, and roll the feed along as well. And that was really successful. We've done that twice now. We've had a bit of a demand to keep it going, to get Ag Chat-Oz face to face, so people can see that it's not just a social-based conversation, that it's actually face to face as well.
I can see that what you've done with farmers has application for the law as well. I mean, you've perhaps had a really dynamic campaign that there are things that people could learn from.
Absolutely.
And perhaps, Steve, I know you're going to be talking about social media after the break. I'm sure you talk about social media strategies as well. I'm interested also in when I was speaking to you on the phone, you mentioned that you sort of have provided a bit of a service in terms of getting people up and running in social media.
So a lot of that has started through, I'm trying to tie that into my job at VFF, is when we go out into regional areas, we do media and social media training. So helping farmers actually just understand what it is and how to use it. There is a misconception that it's hard and that it's for the younger generation, but it's not at all. The average age of our people on Ag Chat-Oz are about 52, and the most active ones are the 60 to 80-year-olds. They're really into it. And typically it's probably you're more of a grain or cereal farmer that hasn't had the time to do it. They invented something called tweets from the tractor cab. So sitting on the tractor, taking a picture and uploading it straight away. And then that conversation actually comes offline as well. So they're tweeting about, planting some sorghum or something. And they'll do a few pictures to say, how's it tracking? And so someone will ask, what are you spraying in the crop? And should I be worried about what that is? Or can you tell me what you're planting today? And then they say, here's the end result, here's your pasta, something like that.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Thank you very much.